What's up, guys? Playing a little The Forest. It's an action-adventure indie simulator. It was created and published by Night Games. It's pretty fun. Let me just pull up the inventory real quick. The middle will be your crafting mat. You also start with a lighter, your Explorer Survivor book, because you packed one of those, how handy, and you got your backpack too. There are certain items that you're going to pick up, like feathers, that are going to be sitting in your backpack when you open your inventory, but you won't be able to use them because there is no coding for them yet, I'm assuming. And in case you missed the story, we're on a plane, we're crashing on some island. Who knows what island we're flying over? Why are we flying over it? And apparently we picked the wrong island to crash on because there's cannibalistic mutants, quote unquote, ready to eat you. By pressing B, you can bring up your survival book, which will allow you to prompt builds such as a fire, shelter, storage, custom buildings, furniture, traps, food, boats, and effigies. A lot of it is incomplete, and there are a lot of options that you cannot select. There's also things that you can build that aren't even in the book. So here we are starting out. The first thing that you're going to want to do is pull the axe out of the stewardess right in front of you and just go on to loot the rest of the plane. You're going to want the food and other items that are in there, especially since you start out hungry. So as you should know, this is an early access game, so there's tons of glitches and bugs. One of them is that all the solid objects really aren't that solid. You can pretty much just jump straight out of things. You could take the traditional way out of the plane, but I like to keep it classy and jump straight through solid sheet metal because I am a pro. A lot of people's strategy is to make the plane their base or something like that. I don't really like that strategy. You really don't need to waste all that time getting the luggage from around the plane. Luggage is scattered throughout the entire map and there's different spawns for it. Make sure you grab these circuit boards from underneath the plane because it's a crafting item. And to craft, all you have to do is open up your inventory. It'll tell you if you can combine the items or not. You can combine a stick and a rock to make a handcrafted axe. Not really useful if you're handed an axe at every point in the game. Also, always keep your eyes peeled for lizards. Killing lizards is very important because you can wear their lizard skin as armor and you can actually stack it. So as you keep killing lizards, make sure you equip your lizard skin and bring your armor rating up more. So make sure you pan around the crash site to check for the little camp that's set up nearby. You can get tons of supplies from this very fast. The plane can actually crash land in like 3 different places. So depending on where you crash land, it's going to be different. So what I'm doing now is what I like to call indefinite running. If you run diagonally, you actually run about 3 times faster than walking regularly. And if you hold shift, you're going to go way faster than that. When you hold shift, you constantly drain stamina. And when you're out of stamina, you can't run anymore. So if you're holding shift and moving in a specific direction and you jump and let go of your shift key, you're going to gain stamina while you're in the air for that brief moment. And as soon as you hit the ground, you need to hit the shift key again, and you can continue without losing any speed whatsoever. But you should be really careful because you can die extremely easily this way. So I'm basically going to show you guys the strategy that I like to run with. This is a way to get your shelter up pretty quick within the first night and still have some sort of defense. I don't like building in the woods, mainly because the cannibal mutants can climb up inside of the trees and drop down on you. It's really not cool, so I don't really like that. So the first thing I'm building is a happy birthday trap. You can find it in the traps tab. Getting down and hacking at the bottom of the sticks is actually a really useful way to get sticks. It's a lot more accurate and a lot faster that I've found to get sticks. So hitting your right mouse button will allow you to block with the weapon that you're holding. The airplane hatchet, however, doesn't work that way. If you try to block, it won't let you. Only if you swing and hold right mouse button will you be able to block. So I hope you're ready to throw down if you're needing to block. So now that we've built the happy birthday trap, the way it works is you're supposed to lure the enemy through and it's supposed to come up and happy birthday, you got some spikes in your face. But we're not going to do that. As you can see, you can pretty much run through it yourself without triggering it, but you can also run through it and trigger it. And we want to trigger it because we want it to stay open. I don't know if you can shut it after you open it, but honestly I don't really want to, so I leave it open all the time. So the next thing that we're going to do is place our hunting shelter. We're going to put it right in front of our happy birthday trap. After acquiring our hunting shelter and happy birthday trap, we're going to take a couple naps here and wait for the next day. Wherever you place your base, you're going to want it near some luggage. I like putting it near luggage near the shoreline. And what you can do is you can sleep and go straight to that luggage, and you can actually sometimes even beat it, and you can watch it spawn. It'll respawn the luggage, and you can constantly just regather this. So here I can demonstrate the usefulness of a tennis ball. I know it seems kind of weird, but when cannibal mutants are out patrolling or just running or doing whatever they're doing, you can throw a tennis ball as a distraction / decoy, and that'll make them divert their attention to that, allegedly. Here they just kind of stared at me and let me go. They were probably intimidated by my pitching skills. So that's why I said looting them at the plane isn't a very good idea, because you have an endless supply generally by your base, depending on where you put your base. Placing a fire is obviously pretty mandatory for this, but I've noticed that putting your fire directly behind your hunting shelter or your items kind of conceals the flame, I guess, so to speak, and I don't really have the problem of any mutants coming and investigating any light. The reason why I like this build setup is because it uses less resources than a log cabin, and you can get your shelter up quick enough to where you can go to sleep the first night and not worry about dying. Another thing to look out for is if you have multiple fires set up, rabbits will be constantly burning themselves alive through your fire, and it's easy meat, so make sure you grab the dead rabbit after he decides to take a joyride through your fire. A lot of the times when you're cooking or killing stuff, you get infected blood on you and you have to go stand in the water to wash it away. So it's really useful to have that ocean right next to you. And there you have it. All you have to do is climb in through the front, and you can pretty much kill any mutants that run at you, or they'll probably kill themselves on the trap. So if you're above the cannibal while you're attacking it, there's a lot less chance that cannibal's even going to be able to hit you, so I really like that as well. So on to some fun glitches. You might as well take advantage of the glitches while you can, while they're working on it. Swimming out far enough to where it's undeveloped, there's actually a giant invisible wall, and a lot like every other wall in this game, you can climb it fairly simply. So what I'm doing here is I'm just climbing the invisible wall and just going higher and higher. This is pretty much pointless, but I have used it to get away from some cannibals from time to time, and it's pretty useful then. But once you get to the top of the map, you can actually get to a point to where you can glitch out onto an invisible line, and you can actually crawl around up there. So you can have some fun climbing in the sky for a while in this game. Also, there's an item glitch you can do here with a flare. If you pull a flare out and pull out your axe at the same time, just by flipping through your inventory really fast, you can hold your flare and your axe out at the same time, and this is pretty useful if you're ready to throw down, if you're looking around. Swinging will make you drop your flare, so... Also, if you've played this game, you know that when you die, no matter how you die, you somehow wind up in the Cannibals Cave. For some reason, they didn't eat you the first time. I don't know. The 3 mutant spawns are random in here, but you can just run straight past them. But if you want to go out the awesome way, you can actually glitch up through the walls in the section with the water, and you'll actually clip through the ceiling and continue up, and you'll eventually make it to an area where the ground is cut, and you can slide through there and get out into the water and out of the cave. But 9 times out of 10 you'll generally die from the fall, so I wouldn't try that if you don't feel like dying a lot. Another little tip for fighting mutants is positioning yourself directly behind an object such as this chest will allow them to just run at that chest indefinitely and not be able to get you right there. Another nice little tip, if you get the plane crash that's right in the middle of the woods, if you run straight out towards the left of the exit of the plane, you can find the Cannibals Cave that they end up taking you to. Going in there early will let you get the flare gun and all sorts of other equipment that you wouldn't have already got unless you died once, which is pretty nice. When cannibals are charging you, if you move towards the side of the cliffs, they'll actually drop down and get stuck in a drop animation, and you can actually just let them sit there all day frozen like that, or you can hit them and knock them out of it. So like I said, guys, there's tons of glitches in this game. A lot of them I didn't go over. There's tree boosting, bird boosting, ultimate entity boosting with this game. You can literally chop a tree down and jump 1,000 feet. So hopefully somebody watches this video and learns a thing or two. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed playing the game. If you guys want any more strat or glitch videos, let me know. I'd be happy to make some. But now I'm gonna make like a baby and head out. So peace!